Is anybody here? There has to be someone here. Not good.
David, Marvin, you there? I found a way out. It's in here. Send reinforcements. East hallway.
I gotta find that guy. Jesus.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door!
I'll get you out!
Help me! Please! Help me!
Give me your hand. I got you. Give me your other hand. Jesus Christ. Jesus! They're everywhere!
Oh, what the hell?
Damn it!
You asshole.
Three, two, one. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the live stream. This is going to be a short stream tonight. I just wanted to do the Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo, as kind of a little late on that. Came out, I believe, on the 11th, but I've been pretty busy with Dark Souls. In regards to Dark Souls, real quick, I have one boss to beat, which is Manus, the last boss of the DLC. My plan is to work on him on Monday and Tuesday. I don't know if I'll be able to get him down on Monday, but I've decided that if I don't get him done between Monday and Tuesday, because Wednesday is going to be my day off from streaming, Thursday's when Resident Evil 2 launches, then he's just not going to get done. At least not at that time, because I'm going to be focusing on Resident Evil 2, and I'm ready to move on from Dark Souls. Um, I have enjoyed several things about Dark Souls, and I do want to do a review of that game, but I want to be fair as well. Even though I've raged a bit, quite a bit, especially in the last stream, because of the combat system, because I strongly, strongly dislike the combat system. Um, it's not a bad game. It's just a very different game, and I wouldn't want my review to taint that game in any way from and discourage other people from playing it, whereas it may be a game for them, but it's really not a game for me. It would be if the combat was better. That's my main complaint. It's not just a little bad, it's terrible to my standards. But anyways, don't want to talk too much about that. I've taken my Resident Evil 7 Steam config, imported it in for Resident Evil 2. I modded it slightly because the controls are slightly different. So hopefully it'll work. This one shot demo is 30 minutes long. After that, like, if any of you have any questions, either before or after, feel free to hit me up. The game comes out on Thursday, the 24th, I believe. I believe that's 24th. And we'll kick it off from there. Hopefully there's not too many technical issues. A lot of times when games launch on launch day, there's usually some kind of technical issue. So I'm hoping that it will be smooth sailing, but it is Capcom, and Capcom has had some very poor porting issues at launch. So if it's not working, then I may just work on Resident Evil 7. If we have too many issues with Resident Evil 2 on launch day, we'll just do Resident Evil 7 because I need to finish that up. And then hopefully, usually at launch, they will usually throw out any fixes within a week or so, usually within a week, to fix some of the major things to hopefully get things fixed. Hopefully. But again, we're dealing with Capcom because Resident Evil 7 had issues when it launched. So let's see if we can get this going. Oh, that's right. I got a parrot. I forgot. I set up the config earlier today, but when I did that, I actually set it up on my other machine. So I got a parrot. It may take a minute. Sometimes when you have more than one controller, sometimes it can be a little finicky trying to re-add. Sometimes it'll list more than one like that. And you kind of have to take a guess at which one it is. So this may take a couple tries. Yeah, it didn't work. So I have to try it again. Let's try this one. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Actually, I had a hell of a time pairing it earlier this morning when I was setting up the controls. I guess theoretically, if someone were so inclined, you could actually make another account with Steam and then download the game and play it again if you wanted. I mean, I don't really want to be doing that. I just, as long as I don't have any technical issues going into it. Let me make sure that the okay, it looks like it loaded correctly. Now, I'm not sure. I got everything set up in here. I already went through all this, but there is one setting here. Oh, I didn't even notice HDR mode earlier. It's not, it's grayed out. Not really sure why. But this setting down here, I could either go standard RGB, which is a little bit brighter, or 709, which is the more color spectrum. I think I'll go brighter. I don't want it to be too dark. I do need to look into the HDR mode because PC games have some issues sometimes. Even if you have an HDR monitor or display, sometimes it still doesn't work. Or it could just be disabled for the demo. Who knows? But everything else is already set. Let me double check the headphones. Yep. Okay. Actually... I'm going to pump up the controller sensitivity all the way up. And I'll do the same with the aim. I've got a clutch on it. So, all right, here we go. I forgot to switch my UI buttons, so I won't be able to toggle the UI.
Boy.
Hey Angel, how's it going? I'll get that fixed once I do the actual game. Okay. Okay, the gyro seems to work pretty well. It's actually really sensitive, so I can turn that down. That's actually really good. Okay.
Hello?
Oh, actually, let's see. People are saying you should go outside the door here first. Fine. I actually have not watched this demo yet. I know that other people have played it. All I know is they said to go out the back here. Okay, I'm not even sure. I will have to fix the right camera stick, but I'm not going to do it during the demo. I don't want to waste time messing with that. Keep out.
Boy.
I'm probably not going to do Dark Souls tonight. I will be doing that on Monday, though. I'm dedicating Monday and Tuesday to work on Manus, but that's it. If it doesn't go down in those 2 days, he's just not going down. I'm ready to kind of move on. Okay. Got. Let me go back. I think I got a little bit ahead of myself. Oh, I don't even know if I can go back. Yeah, I might be stuck in here. Yeah, I'll try not to rage too much on Monday and Tuesday when I go to fight Manus. Calamite had me raging pretty hard. I don't think I raged that hard until I got to him. The water effects look really good. Okay, got some health. Five minutes played. Okay, got some more ammo. I notice when I aim that the gun has a real difficult time keeping up with the rectile targeter, but it doesn't stutter. Evil Within 2 had some serious stuttering issues. I wish they would have added a first-person mode for this. Maybe they'll add that later. Oh, this is where I came from. Wait a minute. There's some stairs here. Hold on. Can do anything with this? Nope.
Jesus.
Oh. Okay, can't do anything with that.
Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door! I'll get you out! Please! Give me your hand. Help me! I got you. Give me your other hand. Jesus Christ.
The hair looks really good. Like all the hair follicles. return to the main hall. Okay. Oh, shit.
Jesus! They're everywhere!
Whoa! There's another one over here.
Jesus. Shit.
Oh, he's alive still? Shit. Come on, man. Should be dead by now. Fuck, why'd I even come in here? Okay, there's more ammo. Definitely need that. Wooden boards, okay. Get the fuck out of here.
Come on.
Hey, Roman. I've only played 10 minutes. I still got 20 more minutes.
You're safe. For now.
Thanks.
Marvin Browner.
Leon Kennedy. There was another off strike. I couldn't...
Here. I'm sure you did what you could, Leon.
Does anyone know what started this?
Not a clue. But honestly, all you need to know is that this place will eat you alive if you aren't careful.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to start last week, and I got a call to stay away. I wish I'd come here sooner.
You're here now, Leon. That's all that matters.
Okay, Lieutenant? I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be able to find a way out of this station. That officer you met earlier, Elliot. He thought this secret passageway might do the trick.
This is good news. We can get you to a hospital.
No, I am not the priority here.
Lieutenant, I'm not just gonna leave you here.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first. I'd come with you, but I'd just slow you down. Now, you'll need this.
I can't take him.
Stop. And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate. You take it out, or you run. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
You know think I forgot to turn up the volume. Yeah, I did. Sorry about that, guys.
Boy.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with it. I wonder my volume is so low. Alright, got more ammo. I mean, I've not played it, but I've heard of it. Actually, I've heard of Borderlands. I didn't know there was a sequel.
This is 73 Birdie. The rescue heading east. The river's down at RPD. Minutes, I repeat.
Oh.
Oh, what the fuck? Huh? What?
Thank you, Roman. The chat, I kind of read it out of order. Thank you so much. Yeah. I've got, if you're still around after this is over, I got about maybe 15 more minutes. I'll tell you the story. It's actually kind of interesting. But if you got to go, I understand. Oh, I guess I could use the knife, right?
Boy.
Oh, okay. It's interesting. It was a very surreal day yesterday. Yeah, I got about 15 more minutes and then demo ends. Oh. Okay. I don't know if that's going to help me to do that. Maybe keep zombies from coming in because they're outside. Yep, there's some right there. Damn it. I'm pressing LB, what the hell? Maybe I need to double press. Alright. I'll just use my damn gun. I think I need to try to heal. Alright. Oops. Okay, that could be useful. The game runs really well. No frame rate issues. Do have to do a little tweaking to the controls, but it seems to run pretty damn good. And it looks really good. Okay, what's this? Alright, got the map. Alright, so I can maybe go to my left. Maybe. Okay, there's a zombie there. Okay, I'm gonna have to probably kill him. I wonder if I can sneak up on him. Maybe stab him from behind. Okay, that didn't work too well.
Boy.
I gotta get better with this knife.
Shit.
My aim's a little oversensitive right now. I haven't had time to adjust it. Broner got knocked the fuck out. First, I thought you were talking about the UFC fight tonight because I actually am missing it because I couldn't get the ESPN to work. That's what I was waiting for. That's why I'm playing this now. Let's go up these stairs here. I'll probably run out of time before I really get in depth in this. I kind of wish they would have given us an hour. An hour would have been cool. Okay, we're gonna need probably some kind of like key or something to unlock that. Red herb. Okay. Oh shit. These are really slow. I imagine the enemies will get faster later.
Do this.
See, it says to hit the left bumper, so I'm hitting the left bumper whenever I get in close combat, and then I'm hitting like the right trigger to swing. But for some reason, it's not like I must be doing something wrong. I don't know. Need some kind of notes for that. There's a key. Okay. What the fuck?
What in the?
I probably should have saved the wooden boards for that. Gunpowder, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna skip some of this just because time's running out. So how was that? Okay. Oh, this is where it came from. Well, they're pretty, at least in the beginning, they're pretty generous with the ammo. I don't feel stressed about ammo. But this game has what is known as adaptive difficulty, which is, I think I came in here earlier. Yeah, that's right. I wonder if I can run through there. Nope. Can't get through there. So basically the adaptive difficulty works based off of your, kind of like your level of skill. The game kind of has an algorithm built into it. And if you're going through the game real easily, the game will actually get more difficult. And if the game is too difficult and you're not progressing, it'll dial down the difficulty. Okay, cool. All right, we got 5 minutes. I imagine it's the same rules as the other Resident Evil games. Okay, we don't have a... we don't need that right now. There's probably like a clue to one of the, like maybe where how to turn off the steam, like where the tool or key is for that. And then there's that combination lock as well. Okay. I'm kind of all over the place because I still haven't got the controls quite tweaked.
I can do this.
Okay. I don't think I've come in here yet. Looks like another key code. I probably don't have it. So. Okay. Okay, so it unlocks like more gear. Evil Within 2 had a similar system. Yeah, it's actually almost exactly like Evil Within 2. I mean, it's a little different. All right. The way Evil with 2 worked, you broke these little these statues throughout the game, and then the statues had keys inside, and then you could go back where you do your upgrading, and it had like a locker room, kind of like that. But you didn't know what was in it; it was all random. Like this, you actually know what's in it, so. he try to come in here? I will read all this when I start the game on Thursday. I'm just kind of going through here so I can explore as much as I can in these 30 minutes. Where is he? Oh, cool. I got the key for this. Cool. Okay, there's a zombie there. Oh, what the hell? Oh, is it over?
There you are. Come here. Take a look.
Yes! I knew she'd make it.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah. Name's Claire. I came into town with her.
You can get to that courtyard. Through the second floor. East side.
I'm on it. Thanks, Lieutenant.
Okay, I think that's the end of it. Yep. I don't know if I ran out of time or if it just was coincidence or what. Oh, I completed it before the time ran out. Okay. But there was still like other things to like unlock, so I don't think I like really completed. I probably just did like the playthrough as is. But so this is what we get to look forward to on Thursday. Aside from me needing to kind of tweak the movement controls a little bit, seems to play pretty well. No frame rate issues.
Find out what's happening here.
She's the one at Umbrella responsible for unleashing the virus.
Seems to be evolving much faster than expected. You gotta be kidding me.
God only knows what's down here.
What the hell?
It'll be all over soon.
I'll get you, you fucker!
Ada!
Sherry, I'm coming!
I'm not handing over anything!
Jesus Christ. Who's that? You don't know what you're up
The
against.
whole place is coming down.
Had a pretty damn good idea.
This is Hunk from Alpha Team.
Man, I thought you were all wiped out.
I'm just gonna turn down the volume and I'll tell you my little pack story, I guess. Let's see. I can go to options. All right, cool. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching this, the demo. As I said, look forward to Thursday, checking this out and seeing how it goes. Just real quickly before I get into the story, my history with Resident Evil is I've played Resident Evil 1, the original, even before the remastered, way before. In fact, I only played the remaster a couple times. So I've played Resident Evil 1, the original, on PlayStation 1, and I don't know how many playthroughs of that game. I was obsessed with that game because it was like the first of its kind, and it was just an amazing game. I played Resident Evil 2, which is based off of this, or this is what's based off of that, actually. I didn't actually play that as much. I think I did maybe 2 playthroughs, so my memory of as far as this game is kind of vague, which is good because then this game's going to feel kind of like a new game. They already said, the developers already said it's going to be a new game. They made a lot of changes, so it's going to be a very different game. Resident Evil 3, I bought it when it came out. It was called Nemesis. It was just, in my opinion, it was just a terrible game, so I returned it. Fortunately, GameStop at the time was real cool. Like, I returned it the same day, and they gave me a full refund, so it was cool. And then after that, I didn't touch, Resident Evil franchise again because I was PC gaming for a long time. Then during the summer, one summer during college, I bought a GameCube. My girlfriend and I bought a GameCube, and we bought Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, the remastered, and Resident Evil 4, and we played those all summer long. I mean, it didn't take all summer to complete them, but that's pretty much what we played. Never played Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 4, by the way, was a fantastic game. That was a really good game. Did not play Resident Evil 5. I started Resident Evil 6, but I had some issues with it. I don't remember exactly what the problems were. It was some kind of technical issue, so I didn't bother playing it. So I heard it's actually I heard 5 was like bad because of the way the controls were. I don't know. Like, I can't speak on that. I didn't play it. And I heard 6 was just kind of okay. And 7's got really good ratings. I can honestly say I think I've played about halfway through or maybe 3/4 of the way through on Resident Evil 7, and that game, it's very good. The only thing that I wouldn't say it's a complaint, but is a little concerning is, and maybe this will come later, but there's no mention of Umbrella at all as far as I've gotten in the game. And I feel like I've gotten a pretty good ways into the game. I would say at least halfway. If I'm not at least halfway, then that's good and bad. It's good because that means it's a really long game, but bad, I don't know if I'm had that much time to play it. I just spent all that time playing Dark Souls. But yeah, there's no mention of Umbrella. So it's a good game. Actually, it's a great game. Controls are great. But I kind of do miss the whole Umbrella aspect. But maybe Umbrella will be a part of the story later as I progress more through that game. So I don't know when I'll get a chance to finish that game out, considering all the games coming up. Okay, so that's kind of my history with the Resident Evil franchise. Really love this franchise. Don't really care for the movies. Love Mila Jovovich, though. She's fantastic, great actress. Just don't really care for the movies. Paul Anderson, I think it's Paul W.S. Anderson. Terrible director. It's just one of the worst directors ever. That's why those films were so bad. Okay, so let me tell you about PAX and how everything went down. So I obviously, for those of you who know, I own the God of War PlayStation limited edition PS4 Pro, and I found out that Cory Barlog, the game director for God of War, was going to be at PAX, and I thought maybe there was a slight chance that I'd maybe get to meet with him briefly and have him sign my PlayStation Pro. So I got it all ready. I made like this foam core cover because I got this like red paint acrylic pen. And I made this foam core cover for it because when you use it to write with, it dries and it sticks, but it can scratch fairly easily. Once it's sealed, then it's fine. So I put the foam core on it to protect it just in case, well, to protect it in general, but just in case he was able to sign it so it wouldn't get all scratched. So I show up at PAX, a buddy of mine from college. We went together, and I talked to a few people as we were getting in there just to kind of ask them, like, because there was no meet and greet set up. It was just, he was just going to do a keynote and that was it. So I didn't know if he was going to be somewhere where I could maybe meet him afterwards or before or whatever. So I was asking like all these PAX employees, I was, just trying to find out, get more information, because PAX is not, it's good, but they could work on their organization a little bit better. Not because of that reason, but just some other things. So anyways, I was trying to figure out, and I talked to a few people, and some people were like, you might be able to catch them either before or after the keynote, but there's no actual meet and greet. And I was like, oh, okay. But I got there really early. I woke up at like 6 a.m. I went to bed at like 4 a.m. So I only slept for like 2 hours. I was all wired. So my buddy and I, we get in line, and we're pretty much at the front of the line. There weren't too many people there, and then the lines filled up. So we finally get into the main hall where he was going to be doing his presentation. And they had 3 rows sectioned off for the VIP. And then we were able to get the front row right behind the VIP. Nobody sat in VIP. Nobody bought VIP. So we were literally front row. But anyways, we go to sit down, and the plan was have my buddy film, my conversation with him if I were able to, get it done. And well, just have him sign it or whatever. And if we could take a photograph together, cool, but whatever. Well, I thought I was going to have to wait till after the keynote, but then after seeing like how the stage was set up, because if you look at some of the other panels he's done, it's usually him sitting at like a desk with like a curtain on it. And, it seems a little bit less formal and like you could actually raise your hand, maybe ask questions. It wasn't like that at all. He was like up on a big stage. I had all these big screens. So when I saw that, I was like, I don't think this is going to happen, but it was cool. I mean, I was just like, if it happens, it happens, I'm not gonna be all sad about it. I told my friend, I'm not expecting it to happen, but I'm just trying to be hopeful. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, this probably isn't going to happen. So as I start to go to sit down, I look over to, okay, so if I'm facing the stage, I look over to my right and I see one of the PAX representatives standing at one of the exit doors. And standing next to him is a guy in a white shirt and a white cap. I couldn't really see because my vision's pretty good, but I'm supposed to wear glasses to see like far away. So he was pretty far away, whoever was standing next to him. But I could tell, I guess my vision's somewhat good, that the guy in the white cap talking to the PAX rep, he was wearing like one of those headsets, like if you were talking to give a presentation. And I was just like, I wonder if that's Corey, because I couldn't tell because, he had the hat on and his beard was trimmed down, because his beard, when I've seen him before, is a little bit more fuller and he had it really trimmed down. So I look over and I was just like, I wonder if that's him. And my friend, he got LASIK done. So this guy sees so good, he can see into the future. So I pointed over there. I was like, can you tell if that's him? But my friend doesn't really know what Corey looks like too well. And so I was like, you know what, don't worry about it. Let me just walk over there and see. So actually I kind of jogged over there and sure enough, it was him. So immediately I shook his hand and I just, like a kid, like I was like all like, just in Neverland for a second. I was like, will you sign my PlayStation Pro? Just like a little kid. I'm surprised he didn't laugh at me. I would have. And he was like, yeah. So I ran back over, started I told my friend, I gave him my phone. I was like, hey, he's going to sign it. Can you film it for me real quick? So I was actually going to, I thought we were going to have to walk over there, but he ended up coming out. Yeah. My friend's got really good vision because he got the LASIK done. So Corey actually comes out, and because it's right at the front, and, he shakes my hand, he, meets a few other people, as you saw in the video. And then I just, just real quickly, one of the main things I want to tell him is just, thank you to you and your team for just, producing a masterpiece of a game and all that. And, it was kind of surreal, not because, it was like, oh, like it's Corey Barlog. I mean, obviously, yes, I was very honored and happy to meet him, but just kind of the way it happened, because I did not expect that to happen. It just kind of fell into place. So after he came over and I started talking to him, that's what you saw in the video, pretty much everything there. But the story continues. So after that, he does his keynote, which I've uploaded that if you guys want to watch that. It's not the best audio and video quality, but it's enough to get the story if you're interested in hearing the story. It's not anything on God of War. So if you're wanting to hear more God of War, that's not what's going to cover. But it is a good story. This guy is we're getting to that in a second. He's a really good conversationalist, really good storyteller. So anyways, after the keynote, I've got my PlayStation, I got it in my bag, and the plan was to walk it out to my car. But in order to get to my car, which is parked a few blocks away, it's about a 20-minute walk. I mean, it's actually about 10 minutes. Actually, it's about 15 minutes now I think about it, to get to my car, and then about another 15 to get back. So my buddy, and obviously you remember I filmed the whole keynote, plus I filmed that section where I met with Corey. Well, I walked to my car. I told my buddy he was going to go ahead and continue on with PAX, stay inside, and I would text him when I got back in and we'd meet back up. Well, I take the PlayStation out to the car. I get back inside, back into PAX. I go to start texting my buddy, and my phone battery died because I had filmed the whole keynote. It actually said it had 70% battery life, but when I went to text him, it just shut off. I was like, oh, great. And trying to find somebody in there, it's huge, and there's a lot of people. I was just like, man, I'm not going to be able to find my friend. Well, fortunately, I actually went right back to where we saw the keynote, and there was some PAX representatives there. So I asked them, I was like, is there a charging station by chance around here? And sure enough, there was. So I was like, okay, cool. Because the other option was to go back out to my car and sit in my car for, 20 minutes or so just to get enough charge to be able to text my friend. So there was a charging station. I went over to it. It was actually free too. A really cool system. It was a locker system. Put in a code, put your phone in there and let it charge. So I was like, all right, threw my phone in there, was letting it charge. And I was like, okay, I got to sit here probably a good 15, 20 minutes just to get the charge. And remember, I'm at the charging station, which is right outside where the keynote is. So I'm standing there, and for any of you who know me, I'm very impatient. My mind, if I'm not doing something, I start going crazy. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn, I got to do something. But where we were at, there wasn't much going on as far as like with PAX, because the keynote where the panels are is in a different section. So there's nothing to like really be, experiencing while you're there. And I could have left my phone and walked off, but I was just like, wanted to wait time there. So anyways, I'm standing there, waiting for my phone to charge. And I probably maybe stood there for like 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm just kind of looking around, just, whatever. And there's like these couches like in the center of like one of the main hallways there. And I look over and I see, a guy in a white hat. And I was like, is that Corey? He's just sitting by himself. I was like, nah, that's not him, So I was like, let me walk up and see. And he was just sitting there, and nobody was talking to him. He was just sitting there hanging out. And I was just like, I would have thought that, in fact, I know other people would have gone up to him, because I don't think anybody knew he was there. Would have, gone up there, just ask him questions or whatever, because he had a lot of people like coming up to him, once they knew who he was and just wanted to ask him questions and whatnot. So I walk up to him and I was going to shake his hand one more time and just, thank him. And I almost made him late to that keynote to do the presentation, because none of that was planned. And I wish I had said or asked him, I said, instead of doing it then, maybe after the keynote, but I didn't know what his plans were. I didn't know if maybe he was going to have to jump on a plane shortly after that or what. So anyways, he's sitting right there. I walk up to him, I shake his hand, I say, thank you again for all that. And he's like, hey, yeah, man. I was like, you do anything? I was like, no. He's like, want to sit down? I was like, yeah. So we just start talking. I was just like, holy shit, this is really happening. And I was just like, for about a minute there, I was just like, why does my phone have to be dead right now? Because I really wanted to record the conversation so that way I could share it with you guys. So you guys could like, hear the questions I posed to him and just some of the things he talked about. Surprisingly or not, we did not talk a lot about God of War. We probably talked maybe about, we kept jumping back and forth during the conversation, but we probably maybe talked maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of God of War. The rest of the time we were talking film, our favorite games, obviously our movies that we like. We did talk about game design quite a bit. I gave him some tips and pointers and things that because we're the same age. Actually, I'm just a little bit older than him. He turns 44 in September. I've turned 44 in March. But I just kind of gave him some tips like on the combat system and whatnot. Not that it like needed it, but to take it to another level, even more so, to make it even more difficult. I also, asked him about the writers, because the writing for the dialogue from all the characters were just amazing. He said there were like 5 main writers for that. He told me the names, but like I don't have it. I couldn't remember all, but I'm sure I could look it up. But it was a really great conversation. He's just an amazing human being. He's very understanding, just real charismatic, just a really good dude. Really friendly too. It's just awesome. And he's a lot like myself. He just likes to talk. I mean, but he's not like, he's probably a bit better than me. He's really good about like, he likes to listen to, I could tell when I was having the conversation with him, he likes to hear people's stories. And I can tell he kind of uses that as inspiration too, or almost like an archive, so he can extrapolate and probably helps, utilize that to be a better storyteller for games and whatnot. He told me about his meetings with George Lucas that he had. He talked about it in the keynote, but he talked a little bit more about it even after. He even met the developer, the creator of Dark Souls, because we talked about Dark Souls a bit too. I didn't express my my frustration with the combat, but I did talk to him about the world design, the things I did love about the game. Because I've kind of struggled with the combat system in that game, but it was an amazing conversation. He's just an amazing human being, and I was just so grateful and honored to have met him. He's a really good guy. It was the reason it felt so surreal is because I didn't expect to even really get to meet him. I was hopeful, and I thought, well, I'll take it and just, we'll see what happens. But not only did I get to meet him, not only did we get to sit front row to his keynote, but then I got to sit down and actually have a conversation and not feel rushed. Because, I'm sure I could have sat there and talked to him longer, but, I felt bad because my buddy was waiting for me. And by then my phone was charged. So I went and got my phone or whatever. But it was cool because after I got up and left, there was some young kid that came up, maybe 17, 18, and he sat down and started talking to him too. I was like, that's great. So, it was cool that he was just, able to sit there and talk. But it's weird because I just don't think too many people knew he was there. I mean, they knew he was there at PAX, but knew where he was because I ran into a lot of people. Like there was a guy after I went in, started after all that, we went into PAX, all the main booths and everything. And I had people coming up to me and like shaking my hand saying, man, what was it like? And asking me all these questions. And the reason they recognized me is because I was wearing my boy shirt. And also I was at the front of the stage. So I kind of stood out like a sore thumb. Probably looked like an asshole. I didn't mean to do that, but like I said, I was like in my kid stage or whatever. But yeah, people were like really cool. They were like all, very happy for me and the whole situation. I was like, that was really cool. I was like, yeah, I did not think that was going to happen. It's like, it was just a really amazing day. So that's the story, it was really cool. PAX, on the other hand, was actually pretty cool considering it was on a Friday. It was nice. It wasn't too crowded compared to last year, but last year I went on Saturday. I would say it was probably a third of the crowd. So it was easy to navigate and get around PAX and see what we wanted to see. So my buddy and I, we decided that from now on, we're probably just going to go on Fridays, unless there's like, something big like on another day that we want to see. And we went to the VR stations because I'm considering getting into VR this year. I was actually eyeballing the Sony Odyssey Plus, but then when I found out about the new HTC VR headset that's coming out, I'm going to wait for that. And I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I guess I'll go ahead and tell you because not too many people are probably watching right now are going to see this, but I have plans for VR and I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to be really cool. I have one major thing that I need to see if I can get resolved because I've got my server with all my gaming setup and streaming setup in between my studio and my game room. So the plan is if the cable will reach, that's the hurdle I got to get over to make sure my cable for the VR reaches from the server room to the studio. Because I need it to reach about 15 feet to the room and then however many feet I need from there to the headset. So 15 feet, I'd say 28 feet, 30's more than enough, but 25 would be cutting it kind of short. Actually, I think I probably could do it for 25 feet. So if I can get a 25-foot cable to reach, then I should be good. If not, I'm going to have to come up with some other kind of plan. But I'm going to set up a whole green screen. And I'm going to set up a camera and I'm going to be using the I think it's the Windows. I forget the name of it. I was doing the research on it. It's something like Windows Mixer Stream or something, or Mesher Stream. But basically what it is with the green screen, I will be able to play in VR and you guys will see me in the game in the VR. It's going to be really cool. So Again, I don't know. I have to make sure that the cable's going to reach. As long as the cable reaches, everything else should fall into place fine. But I want to wait for the new headset because the headset's supposed to work a little bit better with the 20 series cards, graphics cards, which is what I have now. And it only requires one cable instead of, I think, two or three. It also is going to have a much better screen. Another thing is the VR headset that I want to get, which is one of the reasons I was going to go with the Odyssey Pro. There's no tracking devices that you need because all the tracking is done on the headset. So I don't have to put on the tracking satellites around the studio. I just put on the headset and game. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do VR because I really didn't like having to, I didn't want to be mounting, these satellites around my studio. And the other thing is I'm real protective of my eyes. I don't want to be wearing something on my eyes for long periods of time because I've had, many years ago, I had an issue with eye atrophy because I was sitting at my computer staring for a very long time without exercising my eyes. I've got a setup now, even though I game for long hours sometimes, that exercises my eyes, so I don't have to worry about that. But VR, if I was playing VR for a very long time, it could start to inadvertently cause the same issues. But after doing some research and talking with some friends, I think I could probably do like anywhere from an hour to 2 hour sessions and should be fine. And one of the reasons I also want to do it is because I'm gaming more now. I still work out, but it's a lot more difficult to get my workouts in sometimes because of, gaming, working, and trying to juggle my other projects, and then also doing maintenance on the stream. So I thought, why not, incorporate a workout with a VR? Because if any of you've seen VR, it doesn't look like a workout, but you try swinging your arms around and squatting and jumping and doing all this stuff for an hour or two, you're going to get a workout. It's not like you're going to go be lifting like a bunch of weights and all that, but it's some exercise. And so I thought it'd be kind of like good to knock out two birds with one stone. I get some exercise and I get to game. So, but there's this girl, I say girl, she's a woman, she's a grown woman. I think she's like 23 or something. Her name is Cyborg Angel. She's on Twitch. So if you want to check her out, she's got a VR setup, and she's the only one I've seen do it. I'm sure there's others, but basically what she's doing is pretty much what I'm going to be going for. It's really cool. So if you want to go check her out, it's really, really cool. And it's interesting because, Roman, you told me about Ready Player One, and right around the time I was doing the research of VR, you told me about that movie, and then I go and watch it, and then I go to PAX. It's like, I'm so screwed. I'm going to be playing VR quite a bit. But so yeah, that's the story. That's what happened, and that's kind of like the plans I have going forward. So we'll pick up Dark Souls again on Monday. Considering how difficult Calamite was, it took me almost 6 hours to down that boss. The last boss, which is Manus, probably, I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm not going to rush it too much or feel too pressured. I'll put in whatever time I can on Monday and then try again on Tuesday. The reason why I was kind of pushing hard on Calamite was because of my time, because I really wanted to get him down that night because I'm kind of on a schedule, because I got Resident Evil 2 coming up on Thursday. And once I start Resident Evil 2, whether Dark Souls is done or not, I'm done. I'm moving on. And I really want to get Dark Souls done and get all the bosses done just for my own personal, completion. I'll be the first to admit I suck at the game. I'm not that good at the game, but I did enjoy some very cool aspects about it. Yeah, Tomesh, I don't do links. But you're welcome to send me a PM. If it's a YouTube link, I may check it out. But yeah, so I'll work on Manus, the last boss, on Monday. Given what I've experienced from Calamite, if I don't get him done on Monday, I'm not going to allow it to get me to the point where I'm raging. I'll just say, okay, I'll take the rest of the night off. You know, I'll put in a good 4, maybe 5 hours, depending on my patience level that night. And then we'll try again on Tuesday. And Tuesday will be the last day. Either it gets done or it doesn't. And then Wednesday I'll take off. Thursday we'll start Resident Evil 2. That's the plan. So anyways, guys, I hope the story was, you know... Oh, okay, speak English? Okay, cool. If you have any questions, guys, while I'm here, I know I've been running my mouth this whole time. You know, answer any questions or about whatever. Doesn't have to be on topic. But I'll give you guys a couple minutes to respond because I know there's a slight delay. But if not, then I'll probably end the stream. I didn't want to play Dark Souls tonight because I'm a bit spent. I had some work I had to do this morning, and then I had to edit those videos. And then I was going to watch a UFC fight tonight, but unfortunately ESPN crapped out on me. And then I was going to do the stream, so I am not Sprack English. Oh, you don't speak English. Okay. If you speak French, my comment about me speaking French is more about swearing. I don't actually speak actual French fluently. I know a few words, but not enough to speak it fluently. Okay. And for some reason, I forgot to turn off the chat. Not turn it off, but lower the notifications on there. So, oh, Spanish. I do have somebody that might, I don't know if Roman's still around. She was here a little bit earlier. I believe she speaks Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, you want to type it in chat, she might be nice enough to translate for both of us. Unfortunately, I do not know Spanish. I know a few words, but not enough to speak it. Oh, by the way, real quick, guys, I will be turning off subtitles for when we go through Resident Evil. I'm not a big fan of subtitles because it distracts me, because then I start reading it and I'd rather be looking at the actors expressing their facial expressions while they're speaking, and if I'm reading it, I'm missing all that. So I don't like to do subtitles. But I will read all the notes and everything, so that way you guys, you know, I'll be happy to read all that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no idea what that means. But let's see, quick before. All right, well, oh, hey, Angel. Maybe Angel can do some translation. He speaks some English. My controller actually turned off on that. Oh, cool. Every time the controller would turn off during Dark Souls, I had to close out Dark Souls and relaunch again, but I don't have to do that with this. It actually... Oh, I thought it was... I didn't think it was going to let me play again. I thought it was going to like load some kind of story mode or something.
I want to find out what's happening here.
She's the one at Umbrella responsible for unleashing the virus.
Seems to be evolving much faster than expected. You gotta be kidding me.
God only knows what's down here.
What the hell?
It'll be all over soon.
I'll get you, you fucker! Oh, shit.
Ada!
Sherry, I'm coming!
I'm not handing over.
I'm going to check something in the controls here. See if they have a single button for spin. Okay, they do. Q. So are you guys speaking French or Spanish? The voice acting still sucks. I didn't really, I mean, it's only 30 minutes, so I haven't really, I couldn't say at this point. As much as I like Horizon Zero Dawn, because that's an amazing game, I have not finished it. I need to. The voice acting in that is pretty bad, but it's bad in a funny way, almost like the original Resident Evil, because the original Resident Evil was terrible, but it was funny because it was so terrible. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and look at it again. I mean, it definitely wasn't like amazing, but I don't know if I would say it was, bad either. Maybe kind of like middle ground. But there's potential for being better. It's one of the things I wanted to tell Corey is like, you kind of ruined me because like he set the bar. Well, I shouldn't say him and his team, they set the bar so high with the character acting that it's like hard to go and play games that just don't measure up. Yeah, Resident Evil 1 was terrible, man. The remastered, I don't recall if they improved the acting on that because I haven't played it in a long time, but the original was awful, but it was funny because it was awful. At least to me it was. It was like watching a B horror film. So I guess I'll exit out of this. I wish I could have done. Wish they would like let us do multiple playthroughs so we could explore that front area even more. But I'll wait till Thursday. It's not a big deal. Oh, I got 6 achievements. They give you achievements for the time you played. So
Boy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, for me, it's too early to really kind of pass any real judgments on it. I will say the graphics look pretty good and the game runs great. I mean, I'm playing 4K at ultra settings and no issues with, frame rates or anything like that. But these games, because they're indoors, usually if it's an environment that's inside, frame rates aren't really an issue. It's usually when you're like an outside, like you've got a sky, you got trees and all this, grass and all this textures and stuff that are going all crazy. That's generally when we start having frame rate issues. That's one of the reasons I got the 2080 Ti, because the 1080 Ti just couldn't do 4K sometimes unless I dialed down settings, which kind of sucked. But yeah, we'll see. So the plan is do Resident Evil 2, finish that, and then I believe the next game is Metro Exodus. That's the next on my list after Resident Evil 2. A little concerned about that game because it looks like it's going to be kind of long. Oh, actually not so concerned anymore because I was going to play Devil May Cry 5 after that, because that comes out in March, which is only 2 weeks after Metro Exodus. But to my understanding, there's microtransactions being implemented into that, so I'm not going to buy it. If there's microtransactions, I won't buy it. So that gives me more time to play Metro Exodus, because it looks like it's a long game. It looks kind of like a Fallout game, but better. And then after that, I believe it's Sekiro, which is developed by the Dark Souls creator. So that game looks legit, and the combat looks much better. So
Boy.
It depends on the development team, but yes, I don't know if not to, minimize your comment at all, because I've made that same statement in the past, and I kind of take it back, and I'll explain why. So, because I went to art school, I was actually going to school to become a game developer, but I ended up changing my path as far as what I wanted to do, because I didn't like the lifestyle of it. But aside from that, the developers, yes, it's easy to say they're lazy. In all honesty, they're not. What it is you've got the publishers, which are the ones basically setting the deadlines for the developers, and obviously paying them their money to do the work. So the publishers say, okay, you've got this much time to produce this game or this part of the project of the game, and that's it. You got to get it done, and that's it. So, and they've only got so many people to make that happen. So, in all honesty, more often than not, we should be getting upset with the publishers by not allowing either more employees or more time, or maybe a mix of both. Because you don't generally become a developer if you're lazy. I know, because I actually was going to become a developer, and I didn't become a developer because I was lazy and I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to be working 70 hours a week. That's not a lifestyle that I really wanted. Yes, but you also have to understand that it also plays a factor on the publisher, the actual development team, and also the games that you're playing too. If I could give you any advice as somebody who's been playing games for a long time and has made a lot of mistakes on buying some games, if you've got certain games that you love, go back to those games, find out the development team, and I don't mean just the developer house, but try to find out the team that worked on it, the director, the art, the writers, the artists, all that, and follow them. And then you could generally know whether or not, if they do another game, whether or not that game is probably going to be good or not. It doesn't guarantee, but it increases your chances. And then also, don't buy a game at launch. Don't do what I'm doing, like with Resident Evil 2. I did that with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Let me use Shadow of the Tomb Raider as an example. That's a perfect example. I loved Tomb Raider 1, which was 2013. I loved Rise of the Tomb Raider. Both those games were fantastic. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful game, but it was a terrible game. I just didn't like it at all. And I did the research on it as much as I could, but even though it was the same development house, it was definitely a different development team. So I could only get so much information. But another thing too is a lot of the games you list are EA. If I might offer you any advice, you might want to look for a different publisher to go with, because EA is, they're the root of all evil. I don't do EA and I don't do Blizzard Activision. I boycott both those companies. I won't buy games from them. There's so many amazing games out there to play with far less bullshit. It's just, I just don't do it. There's a couple games that I would probably buy from EA, if they were to, you know, reboot a franchise. Like there's a franchise called Alice, American McGee's Alice. If they ever do another Alice game, I would be open to buying that, but it's a single player game, so hopefully they wouldn't ruin it. But I'd probably wait for reviews. But yeah, just try to do your homework as best you can. Go to Metacritic, you know, then look up the developers, do your research on the developers, look at the past games they've done. You can look at how long to play too. That's a good resource. Go on YouTube, try to find good reviewers and listen to them. And based off what you hear from those reviewers, might give you an idea. It's like, okay, this reviewer speaks like somebody who is in line with my expectations, so I'm gonna follow this reviewer, and I think I could trust this reviewer. Bethesda, yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you on Bethesda, man. Bethesda's been they've really screwed up, man. They've really screwed up. Tomash, what does your channel entail? Because I mean, I don't do sub for subs or anything like that. I can't. I mean, it's not anything personal. It's just I try to keep my subs filtered as best I can. But if your channel is a channel that is really relating, that would be a good benefit, then yeah. Are you a live streamer? Are you a content creator? Like, I'll give you the real reason why I don't sub for sub, because I used to do that. Yeah. So when I sub, if for those of you who understand YouTube, whenever you sub to a channel, you go to your subscriptions to look at the videos that are posted for the day. And if you've got all these people subbed, you oftentimes will miss videos from other subscribed channels. So for example, if I have a bunch of channels I'm subbed to, but I don't really watch their videos for whatever reason, but they're posting videos, it will actually start to filter out videos that I do want to see. Now that's not our fault or your fault. It's the way the UI or the AI algorithm works with YouTube. I don't particularly care for it. It's very similar to Twitch. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but there's nothing I can do about it. If it wasn't for that, I'd sub to everybody. I mean, I wouldn't care. In fact, I'd try to set up categories and do it that way. That's the way I used to do Facebook, but then Facebook went to shit. So I canceled Facebook and went to Twitch or Twitter. I don't have a issue like trying to help others in regards to how should I say, promote another stream. I don't really have an issue with that. I would prefer to at least watch your stream at least once before I do that. More often than not, people that I've watched are usually pretty cool, but there have been occasions where I've gone and watched a streamer and I'm like, if I would have like, you know, sub to that person and hosted them, it kind of, because at that point it almost kind of represents me at the same time, because there are some streamers that I would not host like at all. I'm not saying you're one of those people at all, but I'd rather like, you know, try before I buy type of thing. But I can definitely drop you a follow, you know.
Boy.
Yeah, that's I agree. I mean, I put that in the rules not to be promoting or whatever. I'll try to give you some tips though to try to help, you know, promote. I mean, I'm small fish. I mean, I don't have that many people watching or viewing right now. It's more than what it was, but yeah, it is kind of rude. But instead of like, you know, getting upset with you, you know, I'll try to give you some pointers. One, you know, get on social media, get on Twitter. I don't do Facebook, but you can get on Facebook. It does help. I won't do it, but you can do it. Instagram, and then make sure you tag all your streams, tag what games you're playing, put them out there. If you're on YouTube, you could even make some highlights, try to even make some content videos, and even go to Steam's website, post there. You have to be kind of careful with Steam though. Don't even bother with Reddit. They'll just delete you altogether. I rarely use Reddit. It's a good resource, but I don't use it too often. Just if I need a question answered or whatever. It takes a lot of grinding and grunt work, and go watch other people's streams too. I mean, don't do it just like what you're maybe doing with me, but go watch other people's streams and just meet people, talk to people. I've met a couple people on Twitch. I haven't really done much networking on Mixer. I'm trying to branch out more to Mixer now. I like Mixer. I like Mixer a lot, actually. It seems like if they could develop a highlight feature like Twitch, if I had to choose between Twitch and Mixer, I'd probably go with Mixer. It just seems like, I don't know, I like the community. I like, you know, the ability to, they don't edit my streams. I could download the full stream unedited. You know, Twitch and YouTube both edit my streams or block them. So Mixer doesn't do that. And they've got that upcoming streamer page too. Shit, I'm probably on it because I don't have that many people follow me on Mixer. So it's cool to kind of help promote the small fish like me. But on Twitch, I mean, it's very difficult to really make it on Twitch. I still do it. I'll do it. Because I've got some people that are following me now that come check it out. But I because of the type of personality that I am and the way I'm going to run things, I know I'm never going to be, you know, I'll probably never be partnered or affiliated. In fact, I can almost guarantee that, because if I do, that means I have to stop streaming on Mixer and YouTube. And I don't think I want to do that. I like all the different communities. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm actually doing this to meet cool people that just like to game and have a good time. And I mean, yeah, donations help for sure. I mean, this isn't the March of Dimes here. I mean, my setup, I've had to, you know, spend some coin for my setup, but I don't expect donations. If people are so inclined, great, but it's not required. But when you start to go down the path of being affiliated or partnered with like Twitch, I mean, it's for some people, but I just don't think it's for me. You start to kind of lose a bit of authenticity because it starts becoming a job. You know, that's what it really starts to turn into, a job. And I'll be honest, I know some of you may or may not know, but streaming is a lot of work, especially when you're doing it on a more professional level. Now, I don't consider myself a professional streamer, but I'm striving for professionalism. I know my webcam looks like crap. I've got lights on order. Unfortunately, they're on back order, those damn Elgato key lights. But once I get that, that's pretty much the final thing to kind of finish off, to last little thing, because once I get that, the webcam will look so much better. But I try to run a professional stream as best I can. But I don't think I really want to be affiliated or partnered, because at that point, you know, it starts to, I don't want to sound like an asshole or like I don't care about you guys as viewers, but it almost starts to become more about the viewers and less about the gameplay. Because at the end of the day, when I'm playing, this is my time to game. This is my personal time. I'm not doing this for a job. I've got a job. So I want to play my games. But if I can hang out with guys like you and, you know, and enjoy the gameplay, cool. You know, that's kind of what I'm interested in. And if I need help with the game or want to ask, you know, like maybe I come to a fork in the road and I say, hey, chat, should I go left or should I go right? You know, we can kind of go on that journey together. That's kind of how I want to run my stream. But I don't frown on others for running their streams differently if they are doing it as a business, as a full-time job, and they're partner affiliated. different strokes for different folks. More power to them. It's just not for me. Yeah. But I think, I guess I'll get off. So I guess I will see you guys on. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for this, for the follow. And by the way, I actually do have like an alert to like, you know, kind of like thank people when they follow. But what's weird is it only works on YouTube and Twitch. It's supposed to work on Mixer, but the damn thing doesn't work. So I actually was looking at it yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was this morning actually, because yesterday I was at PAX. I was looking at the Streamlabs because Streamlabs has one that also works the alerts with YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. So that way when somebody like yourself follows, oh, you saw it? See, I didn't see it. It didn't come up on the stream. I don't know how you saw it. As long as you saw it, cool. But, well, you saw it in chat, but there's supposed to be like a, like actually have like a flash and it shows your name on the screen and everything. But it doesn't work for Mixer. I don't know why. So I'm going to try to get the one for Streamlabs working. The only problem with the Streamlabs is I have to use their animations, and I have my own personal animation. So maybe there's another way to get it done, or maybe I can contact the people that run the Stream Alert site and see if that, maybe I can get them to fix it or whatever, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. But yeah, I also had this other thing too, that a lot of people, I don't see too many people doing this on their streams, but I've got this option for like annotations that I, you know, been working on for a little while. I'll kind of show you. So I can actually draw, let's see. Oh, I forgot to launch the program. Give me 1 second. I can actually like draw on the screen. So if you guys like, if I'm trying to explain something, like I can do annotations on the screen, which is really cool. You can do arrows, things like that. So thank you, Angel, Vinsmoke. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So the reason I add the annotations is like sometimes I'm in a game and I'm trying to like point to something or explain like, oh, I'm trying to jump on this ledge, or maybe I can jump on that ledge. You guys aren't going to know what the hell I'm talking about. So with the annotations, I'll be able to like draw on there and fully articulate what I'm talking about. And this program I'm using, it's called Epic Pen. And maybe later on, if I get some time, I'll do like a demo. I think it's like $20. I've actually been in contact with the developer, working with them a little bit. So I've been wanted to help promote the program because it's really cheap and it works really good. But yeah, I think you have to be on Windows for it. I don't think there's a Mac version. Hey, I do not understand English. That's why I told you to tell me only whether or not in Spanish it means sí or no. Okay. I'm going to say no. But please don't take it personally. It's just, I'll check out your channel and you know, see what you got going on. And if you've got some good content creation that's related to gaming in some way, then yeah, of course. You know, I honestly don't want to be flooding up my subscription feed. I've got people on there now that, if YouTube had a different feature where like you could follow people and then have subs, that would be cool, because that way I could, or like have like lists, like Twitter has lists. So I don't follow too many people on Twitter and I just create a bunch of lists. So like with my lists, I can go through and pretty much, you know, add each person to that list and see all the news. I imagine Angel's like probably doing some translation or something. Angel's been watching me for quite a while through my Dark Souls journey. And boy, I've had some rough nights with that game. that game is pretty amazing. If you can tolerate the combat system, it is a pretty amazing game. The combat's just not for me. It just is not for me at all. I need something fast-paced, something more engaging, something that I don't have to walk on eggshells, that I can take risks. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. You can't really take any risks with Dark Souls. You got to walk on eggshells throughout that entire game. It's just not my type of play style. But I think I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. Anybody has anything to say or whatever. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you for the follows, the subscriptions, and whatnot. And I'll be streaming again on Monday. I don't really have, like, because my schedule's really sporadic. I mean, I'm trying to stick to the days, but as far as like hour time, I'm, because this isn't a job, that's kind of up in the air. But I usually will stream in the evening. So I would say probably Monday, I'd say 8 or 9 o'clock, and then probably stream till like, around 2 a.m. Central Time. Almost forgot to mention that, Central Time, United States Central Time. So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to Resident Evil 2. I think this is gonna be a cool game. And hopefully I'll see you guys on Monday, and if not, maybe you guys will come back and check out Resident Evil 2 on Thursday. All right. Anyways, you guys have a good night, good morning, and as always, keep gaming, guys.